Hey, what's up guys? Captain Jack here, and welcome back to Stranded Deep. So, we are back here in paradise, on my beautiful island, and yeah, there's been some updates to the game, which you can probably tell. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks a little better. The textures all just look a bit more... look at that writing, that's definitely improved. But the textures all just look a bit more... well, just a bit nicer. That bed's definitely different. These, I think... yeah, it's just been improved, and the movement is... it's just smoother. Look, you lean to the left, you lean to the right, forwards, backwards. It's just... it's smoother, it's nicer, and everything looks a bit less arcadey and a bit... it's much more nicely textured. So that's one thing. Other thing, and this would be for any people who want to start a new game up, what they've done is they've done away with the knife and the water bottle on start. So now when you start a new game, you won't have either of these two anymore. What you'll have to do is once you get back onto land, you'll have to go into your crafting menu, and you'll have to make this crude knife. Well, actually, I think it's a stone... yeah, the stone tool. You just grab a rock and make a stone tool, and then you gather resources so you can make a knife, and so you can make axes and other resources. I don't want to show you too much of that just yet. So you'll make that, and then you'll go from there. And because of the whole no water thing, you're thinking, so what do you do for water then? If you don't have that water bottle, how do you survive at first? Well, if I can find a palm tree, I will show you. Because the basic premise now, if I can... are there any coconuts up there? I don't want to climb it. Come on, be coconuts, be coconuts. No, no coconuts. I need a palm tree with coconuts. Oh, hello. Can't see you down there. Oh, God. Can't see. Right, I'm probably not going to find any coconuts just because that's my luck. I really should have prepared a bit more for this. But I'll explain as I look. Basically, what you can do now with coconuts is once you knock them down and crack a hole in them so you can drink them, you can refill them and turn them into little water bowls. Obviously, it's not exactly efficient. You'll never get that much liquid in them. You can put a little bit in, enough to sort of, you know, dip it in the water and sustain you for a bit. But, yeah. So, obviously you'll still need a bucket of fresh water. You just dip the coconut in, you take a swig out of it, you get a couple of swigs, you get a bit of water. You just keep dipping it in and getting more swigs. I imagine that the bottle of water is still something that you can find in places, so you will be able to pick one up eventually. Are coconuts? It's really hard to tell if there's a coconut in the tree or not. And this is a pain in the bum. And that sun is so blinding. Come on, be a coconut. Please be a coconut in this tree. Wow, they've really... now they've made it that you can chop the palm trees down again. They've just made it so that coconuts don't grow on them anymore. Just to try and nerf that again. I suppose it'd be too much to ask if you were allowed too many coconuts. I think this island is probably all coconutted out. They don't seem to regrow like they used to, or at least not with any speed. But I'm just going to run over to this this bit over here, and if there's no coconuts on any of these, then I won't be able to show you this. Like I said, I really should have gone searching for coconuts before starting this episode, but there you go. That's life. The best laid plans of mice and men and all that. Come on, I'm not going to be able to run very fast because of another new mechanic, which I'll show you in a minute. No coconut there. Right, well, I think I'm going to have to do a bit of searching for coconuts. There's definitely none up this tree. which sucks. So glad you can climb trees properly now. So much nicer. But anyway, moving on from coconuts, seeing as I'm not finding any, one of the other mechanics that you have now is, if I bring up the watch, a sleep line or bar. Press mouse 0 to cycle through. Okay, I think it just means that. Yeah, we have this with the Zs. We have the sleep bar. You now need to sleep to regain that bar, and if you don't sleep, then you lose the ability to run. You get worn out. Basically, it's a stamina bar, I guess you could say. And if you don't sleep, you don't refill it, then you don't run anymore. So you have to keep sleeping now and then to keep that refilled, which is pretty handy. I guess, you know, it adds to the realism, adds to the immersion of the game, which is pretty nice. But to go along with that, because obviously it takes a bit of time before you can get a little house built and before you can get a bed up, what they've given us now, wow, really not a single coconut anywhere. What they've given us now is the ability to create, if I can find it on shelters. So you can make a shelter out of sticks, palm leaves and lashings. And you see how they're bringing the palm fronds back as a usable item now. Good. So you can sleep in there, and that will allow you to get your stamina back up. But the other thing, unless you have a shelter or a bed somewhere that you can sleep, basically, you can't save the game anymore. See, save. You must craft a shelter or bed and use it to save. So they've basically gone a bit like the forest on that, where you have to have a shelter to save the game, which again is a really nice bit of immersion. It helps to make the game feel more like, you know, you go to bed at the end of the day, and that's your day over, and that's a new save sort of thing. I don't know if it still auto saves. I'm not entirely sure on that. But if you want to save it yourself, that's what you've got to do. What are these doing for water? Okay, they'll need refilling at some point. I really love that new font. It looks really good. So as you probably saw on my list down here, as well as the shelter and the stone tool, we also have some a hobo stove, which is used to cook multiple items unattended. So you don't have to keep attaching things to the fire spit. You can just chuck stuff up on top of there, which is handy. We have this smoker, because you know that thing that they brought into the game where food spoils after a while, like crabs and shark meat, which I haven't done yet, but like other kinds of meat will spoil if you don't eat them pretty much straight away. So what you can do now is you can smoke that meat, and it won't spoil at all, ever, as long as you've smoked it. The thing with that is that the larger meats, like the big chunks of shark meat and stuff like that, they take about 12 hours, in-game hours, to smoke. So you have to chuck them in the smoker the second you've brought them back out of the sea, so to make sure that you get them smoked before they spoil. We also have these, a water still, basic solar freshwater still, slow sustainable source of water. It basically is just a tarp that catches water and drips it slowly into a bucket. Quite handy. And then you have the water collector, which is a basic freshwater collector that can be used to boil salt water from one container and collect the freshwater runoff into another. So it's the same thing. A tarp collects water, drips it into this top bucket, which then pours into this bucket and cooks. And then you can keep swapping out buckets and getting fresh water. As long as you keep turning the buckets over, you keep getting fresh water, which again is really handy. And then there's the new style bed. Other things, I don't think we have anything new there. And as far as I'm aware, there's nothing new when it comes to boats. Nothing new in farming, and we still don't have the medical side of things. So as far as I'm aware, those are the only new updates, unless I'm missing something. Wow, these things really fly now. I mostly just wanted to give you guys an update on that stuff. This update came out yesterday, today being Saturday, so I probably will be putting this video up tomorrow, possibly Monday. So yeah, this update was basically Friday. It's a lot of cool new stuff, and it all seems to work a lot nicer. It's all a lot smoother. The graphics look a lot better. It's really coming together nicely as a game, this. So I hope that was nice and informative for you, and I will be back with this game soon for some more actual play. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care, and bye-bye.